let's talk a bit more about Twitter. In this case, I have a tweet here, and I try to explain a bit more what are the functions and features of a tweet. At the very top, we have our profile picture and our company name, or your personal name if you like to have your personal account. And in the middle, we have actually the tweet itself. In this case, Tourism Queensland is posting about a Whitsunday 74 deal. Whitsunday 74 has its own account and its own little, let's say, hashtag where people are talking about the same topic. So we see the hashtag, which says, okay, if someone is using the hashtag and searching with this hashtag, they will get all information that contain this hashtag. Kind of a trend. We mentioned Virgin Australia. You can see there's a little @ and then the name of the business. That's the account or the username. And Virgin Australia is going to see in their own statistics that we mentioned them in our tweet. And that's highly important because then Virgin Australia knows, oh, excellent, my name got out to the audience of Tourism Queensland. And that's something we want to do because that's a virality. Someone else is talking about me to their own audience. Down there is a link at the very last spot. If we tweet, or if you use Twitter, always link to something else. That can be your website, that can be a photo, that can be anything, but get the customer using 140 characters and then offer more information somewhere else. So you get them to your website, you get them to your Facebook page, you get them to look at a picture, whatever you want to do. Give them a bit more so they stay with you and they interact with your content. Down there, a few features of what you can do with a tweet. You can retweet. That means you can use this tweet and forward that to your own audience. And that's what we're after. If I tweet something, I hope that someone else is going to retweet my tweet because then my name and my information goes out to their audience. Here's a bit weird language sometimes. All right, I can do a reply. I can click on reply, and that means I go back to the editor or the author of this tweet. In that case, it is Tourism Queensland. And I could say, oh, this is great information, thanks for that. And everybody else who's following me would see my answer to Tourism Queensland. Or I can bookmark. That just means I want to read more. If I want to click on that link later again, I just have that in an own folder. Okay, questions to Twitter or tweeting? No? Excellent. I talked about this earlier a little bit. It's just about the Twitter jargon, about tweet and retweets. And for your understanding, the @ symbol is always connected to the username. So if you see @something, that means that is a user, that is an account, and someone is mentioned this account in their own tweet. The tweet is just the message itself. The retweet is if I get a tweet and I think this is worth it to forward that to my own audience, these guys will know I retweeted, and it is RT before the tweet starts. So that's just kind of the language. And the hash symbol is actually if I want to give my tweet a category. For example, sometimes if I'm in region and I hold a workshop, I tweet, I mention Tourism Queensland, and I have a hashtag digital coaching. So if someone types in hashtag digital coaching, they're going to find all my tweets when I'm holding a workshop. Okay. What if we start going to work with Twitter and trying to get little small informations out into the industry? What are we after? We are after that other people are going to retweet. So usually people think if I talk to operators and they say, oh, I don't know why I should be on Twitter. My audience is not on Twitter. So yeah, I usually would say, yeah, I agree. But your audience may be on Twitter following someone else. Let's say there's an audience with Triple J, the radio station. They have like, I don't know how many thousand followers, and they tweet every day. And their audience might even be your target group. Same age, same interest. These guys follow Triple J because they have interesting news. So Triple J, for some reason, starting following you. And then you post something new about something interesting about your product. And Triple J thinks, oh, that is great. You retweet that to our own audience. And that's when Twitter makes sense for you. Because that's when the audience of Triple J will get information from your business. So even if your own audience or your own customers are not on Twitter or not going to follow you, that is fine. But there might be other, let's say, distributors like big companies who are going to retweet your information to their own audience. And that's what we're after, like here. The account Aboriginal Songlines mentioned Tourism Queensland in their own tweets. So their audience, 1,300 followers, see Tourism Queensland's name and our account. And maybe they click on this @ symbol, come up to our own account in Twitter, and say, yep, I follow you guys. Down here, the Today shows, they tweeted again, they mentioned Tourism Queensland, they have an audience of 30,000 people. Down here, What If, yeah, same thing, they mentioned Tourism Queensland. It is about a media release, and they have 10,000 followers. So all these guys are now in contact with me or Tourism Queensland, and that's what we want. Something else is if someone is going to mention me. Yeah, we have Good Morning America, and they have almost 2 million followers. So these guys get information about Tourism Queensland, and that's what we want. We want this audience to get more information about us. Mentions. Does it make sense for you? Okay. Again, just creating a Twitter account is not going to work. If you think, okay, that might be a nice way to get my information out into the industry or to other bigger companies or organizations, we need somehow a strategy to what and when do we post what kind of information. So again, content. What kind of information do you have as a business or as a private person you could potentially publish on Twitter that have enough value for someone to retweet or even to read? Yep, there can be news, images, links to something, links to a new blog, things to a new product, whatever that is, or you even could say, I just retweet information I found on Twitter. Followers. Very similar to Facebook. Every time you are in contact with your customers or with your business partners, mention that you tweet about something so they are aware that you actually have a Twitter account and about what kind of information you're going to tweet. Engagement. As I said before, it is not as hard as with Facebook. If you tweet, provide a bit more, provide a picture, provide a link back to your website or wherever. Motivate people to retweet or at least mention your name when they post on tweets. Okay, very similar. You can use this kind of strategy with these pillars, content, followers, engagement for any social media platform. If you know what kind of content, if you know how to reach your audience or to increase your audience, and if you know how to motivate your audience or to engage your audience, it will work for all different social media platforms. Excellent. A week on Twitter. What can you post on Twitter? What kind of information? I have an example here, Monday to Friday. This is just out of my head. You can choose anything you want. This is something that could make sense. For example, Monday. Monday is your day where you publish information about a special. In this case, it is a special flight with Virgin Australia. On Tuesday, you publish something about behind the scenes. You could let people know how quickly actually your staff can change the sheets of a bed. On Wednesday, you have something like helpful tips. How to get from A to B the quickest way, or how to start an engine, or depending kind of related to your product, maybe not. You don't have to talk about your business. You can talk about anything that is interesting for your audience. Thursday could be you just retweeting information about you. Someone else is talking about you and you're retweeting this. And Friday is you talk about you and your team. You just say, okay, by the way, this is Scott, and Scott is responsible for the maintenance of the property. Something like this. These are just examples of what kind of information you possibly could use if you work with Twitter.
Where it shines, Queensland shines on me. Where Australia shines.